Iran is pursuing a multifaceted strategy in neighboring Afghanistan in order to expand its influence and to obtain a territorial foothold in this civil war-riddled country. To attain this goal, Iran is counting on its vast network of Shiite seminaries and schools, while also providing military support to the Taliban. Iran is also strengthening Fatemiyoun, its own Afghan proxy militia, comprised of nearly 15,000 members who are currently defending the Bashar Assad regime in Syria. Afghanistan is a Muslim country of 33 million, of whom 20% are Shiite Muslims, and nearly half the population of Afghanistan speak Farsi. This could provide Iran with opportunities to strengthen cultural ties between the two countries. But Iran is instead trying to export its version of fundamentalist Islam. During the past decade, Iran has considerably increased its network of seminaries and Islamic schools in both countries. These centers are connected to and managed by Al-Mustafa International University, where foreign Shiite clerics, scholars, and missionaries are trained. While Al-Mustafa's main campuses are in Iran, it has more than 100 branches around the world, and Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, is the highest authority in Al-Mustafa University. According to Al-Mustafa officials, the university has 40 seminaries in Afghanistan, and its graduates have considerable influence within the Afghan government and media.
ما الان به عنوان نمایندگی جماعت مصطفی در کشور افغانستان 40 مدرسه علمیه رو تحت پوشش داریم.
5 یا 6 تا دانشگاه خصوصی در کابل داریم که تقریباً 70% اساتید اینا طلاب محترم جماعت مصطفی است. در پارلمان تقریباً 1/3 بلکه بیشتر از 1/3 نمایندگان پارلمان شیعی حداقل با قاطعیت فارغ التحصیلان المصطفی است. ما 3-4 نفر وزیر، معاون وزیر در کابینه فارغ التحصیلان المصطفی داریم. 170 مدرسه علمیه که در سرتاسر کشور فعال هست، اینها توسط فارغ التحصیلان المصطفی میگرده.
There are also nearly 15,000 Afghanis enrolled in Shiite seminaries in Iran.
ما انگشت شمار بودیم. حدودی 40 نفر بیشتر طلبه افغانی در قم نبودیم. قبل از انقلاب 40 نفر بیشتر نبودیم. این 40 نفرم بسیار به مضیقه زندگی می کردیم. الان به حمدالله در حوزات علمیه قم و مشهد و جاهای دیگه بیش از 15,000 طلبه افغانی درس میخونه. اگر کسی بیاد طرف افغانستان بگه من میرم افغانستان برای تبلیغ، یک پولی میده و برو. حضرت آیت الله عظمای خامنه‌ای برایش پول میده که به زمین نمانی. ایره بگیر تا تو تقویت شوی، علمای افغانی و طلاب به تو مراجعه کنه، شهریه بدی.
Al-Mustafa's educational network, with its army of Afghani clerics, is a formidable tool to generate grassroots support in Afghanistan for the Iranian regime's ideology and foreign policy. It is also a recruiting base for Iran's security and military organizations, such as the Revolutionary Guard's Quds Force. Iranian support to the Taliban became quite apparent in May 2016, when the group's top leader, Mullah Akhtar Mohammad Mansour, was killed by a U.S. drone attack in Pakistan, just as he was returning from Iran. Iranian news websites confirmed that he had been in Iran for 2 months prior to his death, meeting with Iranian officials. 1 year earlier, in May 2015, Iranian news websites associated with the Revolutionary Guards reported that a Taliban delegation had visited Iran and met with Iranian military and political officials. These reports also confirmed that previous Taliban delegations had traveled to Iran. In April 2013, Maulana Sami al-Haq, considered as the spiritual leader of the Taliban, had been warmly received in Iran and had participated in a regime-sponsored conference in Tehran. He was seated in the first row among the most important guests and next to Ramadan Abdullah, the leader of the Palestine Islamic Jihad. He was also among those guests selected to meet the Iranian Supreme Leader at his residence. In addition to political support, Iran is arming and training the Taliban to carry out military operations in Afghanistan. Afghan officials and media have reported and denounced this Iranian support to the Taliban.
جنرال عبدالصمد رئیس امنیت ملی در فرا در گفتگوی اختصاصی با آریانا گفت در صورتی که به گروه طالبان از کشورهای همسایه به خصوص ایران و پاکستان سلاح و مهمات ارسال نگردد این گروه به زودی متلاشی خواهد شد. و از کشف 7 راکت زمین به زمین ساخت ایران در 3 ماه اخیر خبر داد و همچنان مدعی شد که 2 افغان را به اتهام جاسوسی به ایران با اسناد و شواهد بازداشت کردند. وی تاکید کرد که گزارش‌هایی در دست دارند که سران طالبان به پاکستان و ایران سفر می‌کنند و با برخی مسئولان سازمان‌های استخباراتی این کشورها برای برهم زدن امنیت در فرا و دیگر ولایات کشور طرح‌ریزی می‌کنند.
بازیگر دیگر جنگ افغانستان ایران در این روزها از نقش ایران در جنگ افغانستان بیشتر پرده برداری می شود. بیشتر مقام‌های نظامی کشور و حالات طالبان از این پرده برداشتند. فرماندهان طالبان پذیرفتند که استخبارات ایران از جنگ افزار تا پول نقد برای پیشبرد جنگ در افغانستان در اختیار آنان قرار می دهد. در همین هفته که گذشت وزارت دفاع ملی کشور هم پرده از دست داشتن استخبارات ایران در شعله‌ور شدن جنگ افغانستان برداشت.
استخبارات منطقه پشت سر مخالفین است. اونا تا وارد دستبردار نشده. اونا کوشش میکنن که مخالفین را حمایت کنن، مخالفین را تجهیز کنن، اکمال کنن و با جنگ روان کنن. کیها؟ مثلا ایران، استخبارات ایران.
اکنون پرده برداشته می شود که استخبارات ایران در تهران، مشهد، زاهدان و کرمان در 4 بخش ایران مراکز آموزشی به جنگجویان طالب ساخته است.
Cache of weapons intercepted by their patrols near the Iranian border. They include sophisticated mines and roadside bombs. These type of devices, clearly displaying their origin in Iran, have already been used to deadly effect in Iraq. Now the armor-piercing penetrator bombs are taking an increasing toll on NATO troops inside Afghanistan.
U.S. officials have also denounced Iranian military support to the Taliban.
Fighting between the traveling troops and insurgents who attacked the convoy lasted between 30 and 45 minutes. There were no reported injuries, but the assault on this convoy came the same day that the commander of U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan told reporters there was clear evidence that some Taliban fighters have been trained in Iran.
In some cases, providing weaponry and training to the Taliban that is inappropriate.
American General Stanley McChrystal said the U.S. and NATO are working to stop the training as well as weapons trafficking.
A year ago, your predecessor, General Campbell, testified about his concern of the role Iran was playing in Afghanistan. Could you give us your view of what Iran has been up to in the last year since he testified?
Iran is directly supporting the Taliban in western Afghanistan. The Afghan government is raising these issues with the government of Iran and asking them not to support the Taliban and undermine the Afghan government.
Is Iran's support for the Taliban primarily or exclusively located in Herat and Farah, or are they supporting the Taliban throughout the country?
Without getting into a lot of classified material in an open hearing like this, Senator, I'd say it's primarily in the West, but their financial inroads go around the country in the north and in Kabul in particular.
You have also indicated that Iran is supporting and arming Shiite groups and Taliban at the same time. Do you agree that Iran and Russia are following the same policies in Afghanistan? And do you have intelligence to prove this?
Well, I won't discuss intelligence with the open media. However, I believe that in fact they are supporting these groups.
And when we say arming Taliban, it's just a little complicated for our viewers when they ask questions from us. Arming Taliban, where? Which part of Afghanistan?
We think that in the Farah area, the Taliban that have been making threats against Farah province and Farah city have been equipped by the Iranians. We also believe that in Shindan and even up as far as Herat, that in the western parts of Afghanistan, we are seeing Iranian influence in the Taliban in those areas.
Repeatedly in U.S. Department of State's annual reports, Pentagon reports, and in U.S. Treasury's terror designations, these Iran-Taliban military ties have been denounced. Iranian officials and their government press try to justify supporting the Taliban. For example, Fars News, a website associated with the Revolutionary Guards, published an editorial which defended supporting the group, in which it presented the Taliban as a moderate anti-American organization. Tasnim News, a website connected to Iran's Revolutionary Guards, released a short video explaining Iran's support to the Taliban as an important step toward pushing the U.S. military out of Afghanistan.
هفته گذشته در خبرگزاری تسنیم خبری مبنی بر سفر برخی از رهبران طالبان به تهران و گفتگو با مقامات ایرانی منتشر شد. این خبر در رسانه‌های داخلی و خارجی حواشی بسیاری در پی داشت. برخی از رسانه‌ها تفاوتی بین طالبان و دیگر گروه‌های تروریستی قائل نبوده و این سفر را محکوم کردند. محمد حسین جعفریان، کارشناس مسائل افغانستان و پاکستان، در گفتگو با مشرق به برخی از این مسائل پاسخ داده است.
متاسفانه ما از طریق رسانه‌ای تعریفی که از طالبان ارائه دادیم یک گروه تروریستی خشن و محکوم هست و هر عملیاتی که در افغانستان رخ میده ما بلافاصله میگیم خب طالبان فلان ترور رو انجام داد، فلان بمب رو منفجر کرد، طالبان هم که محکومن و از این نگاه دقیقاً نوع خبررسانی ما در ارتباط با فعالیت‌های طالبان شبیه رسانه‌های غربی. اگر ما بپذیریم بخشی از این مبارزین دارن علیه اشغال می‌جنگن و مبارزه اصیلی که دارن انجام میدن، آیا ما مخالف مبارزه کردن بخشی از مردم افغانستان با اشغالگران و با امریکایی‌ها هستیم؟ قطعاً.
Iran also has its own Afghani proxy militia. In early 1986, during the Iran-Iraq War, the Revolutionary Guards established the Abu Zahra Brigade, made up of Shiite Afghans who are predominantly poor immigrants living in Iran, and used them in the war against Iraq. According to official records in Iran, several thousand of the brigade's fighters were killed or injured during the Iran-Iraq War.
جنگ دفاع مقدس و اجساده طبق آمار مجله پاسدار اسلام در سال 67 و 68 بیش از 7000 شهید این مهاجرین ما خلاصه در اینجا داده است.
In 2013, the Revolutionary Guards Quds Force formed a new Afghani unit called Fatemiyoun and deployed it to Syria. This division operates under the direct command of Qasem Soleimani and is comprised of more than 15,000 members. According to the Iranian press, more than 800 members of the group have been killed in Syria. Fatemiyoun's commanders are Afghani members of the Quds Force, who are ideologically loyal to the Iranian regime. However, the majority of Fatemiyoun fighters are impoverished Afghan immigrants living in Iran. Fatemiyoun members have gained enormous battlefield experience in Syria and could potentially be used in civil war-torn Afghanistan to help Iran gain a territorial foothold in the western part of Afghanistan. Iran's support to the Taliban and its other destabilizing activities have angered Afghan citizens, who frequently express their outrage during public demonstrations in Kabul and other Afghan cities.